Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of the Football for Life podcast with your host Willie. As we continue the prolonged existence of COVID under COVID lockdown restrictions, these episodes will continue to be sort of just a one-man show. And anyway, welcome to today's preview. For the game against Manchester City on Sunday. It's the biggest game of the season, and I don't think you can say that without a shadow of a doubt. Really, we are obviously in the first week of February, so we're now halfway through the season. Liverpool currently sit in and my keyboard's frozen. Liverpool currently sit fourth in the table, alongside Manchester City in first, Manchester United in second, Leicester in third, and then West Ham just behind us, and followed by Chelsea behind them. So, just to give a bit of a lay of the land, Manchester City are 7 points clear at the top of the table, which is really painful to say. Manchester United are 4 points ahead of us, and Leicester City are 2 points ahead of us. And now it's important to say that obviously, the number one thing is that we have to bounce back. We lost to Brighton in midweek, and that stings. Really, really stings. Especially after a really good run of results. We had gone on a 5-match unbeaten. A 5-match losing. 5-match non. We went 5 games without winning. And we were most of those games. 4 games of those we didn't look like scoring. And so it was incredible to see us get back to winning ways against Tottenham, which was an incredibly big game. And then the game against West Ham, which could have slipped away from us, but we comfortably put them to bed with a really great display of attacking football and a sort of a free-flowing nature to ourselves that's more reminiscent of the Liverpool performances that we have seen across, over the last 5 years or so, particularly in the last 2.5 years, where we've won, the Champions League, the Club World Cup, and your mum's best dinner trophy. We basically won everything you could possibly imagine and more, playing this attacking style of football, and it's important that we get back to that. So it was a blow in midweek to lose to the the goal against Steven Alzate. I think that's who it was attributed to in the end. Yeah, I think it's because this theoretically, Wednesday was our chance to get back in this title race. There have been a lot of questions in the past few weeks about, are Liverpool in the title race? Who's in the title race? Who's going to win the league? And, particularly given this poor run of results, there was a lot of people saying, oh, Liverpool are out of it. But then, being confident Liverpool fans, we always believed that, we can bounce back from that. And we were going to recover. And of course we did. And, winning on Wednesday would have put us within 3 points of City. Sorry, 4 points of City. And then if we win on Sunday, we could have gone 1 point behind them. And so it was a big blow. It's a big blow. And it was a big blow because we didn't like scoring either. In that game, Firmino wasn't playing well. Salah wasn't really getting much service. We weren't putting. We were struggling to keep possession of the ball, and it got very bitty in midfield. And now, there's more conversations about whether we're still in this title race or not. And I think if we lose, that's us. I think that's our season gone. In many ways, I think maybe our season has already gone, but we maybe just don't want to admit it to ourselves. It's not to say that I think there's a complete crisis at the club. I think we'll still keep top four. I think the additions of Kabak, as we'll explain in a few minutes, and the kid from Preston, I keep forgetting his name, Davies. They will. I think they will certainly help us achieve that top four position, because I think even given the fact that we went on that long winless run and then we lost to Brighton, we are still comfortably in fourth, and we are comfortably fighting, playing a style of football that will achieve us in most years will achieve us top four. So even if everything goes to pot, we've still got Champions League. We should still get Champions League. We could still go as far as we possibly can in the Champions League. And I think that will be our saving grace. But I also think that if we win on Sunday, we can really get a lot of momentum there. And I think we could make another charge to be in the title race again. But Sunday is really a must-win game. Yeah. I'll put this out now. So if those that watch this video could put your preferred lineups, thoughts on the game coming up, whether you're positive about the game, you think we could win it, we could only get a draw. I want to hear all of your thoughts. Positive, negative, conflicted. I want to hear everything you have to say. And just leave it in the comment section below and hit that like button and hit subscribe as well. For those that aren't already subscribers of the channel. And yeah, give your suggested lineups. That would be really cool. Because yeah, it would just be good to see what people think is a good option going forward. Sorry, I'm rambling a little bit because some of the tech that I'm using is going a little bit haywire. But let's just keep this kind of off the cuff and easy flowing. Right. So let's look at the game then. So the game on Sunday is the 4:30 kickoff. There are two games before, Tottenham versus West Brom, Wolves versus Leicester, and then it's us with the third game on. And Liverpool are playing at home. So the game is at Anfield. And we lost to Brighton, which was the second consecutive loss at Anfield in a long time. I believe it was since 2012 was the last time we lost consecutive games at home. So we definitely want to bounce back from that. Let's just go through the some match facts. So in regards to team news, Liverpool will monitor injury doubts Sadio Mane and Fabinho in the hopes that they are past fit to play on Sunday. Um, Anderson may also return following illness, whilst new signing Ozan Kabak is now available, though he is unlikely to start so soon after joining on loan. On the City front, however, Pep Guardiola has reported no new injuries, and City, who have won their past 13 games in League and Cup, remain without Sergio Aguero, Kevin De Bruyne, and Nathan Ake. Um, so let's. I know maybe it doesn't necessarily mean a lot for some of you guys, but let's hear what some of the sort of media pundits, um, football pundits have been saying about the game. So love him or loathe him, Danny Murphy's been talking again, opening that trap of his. He said in an article titled "Win or Bust for Reds," Danny Murphy says, "I wouldn't write off Liverpool in the title race just yet. That would be silly with the quality that they've got and the mentality this team has shown in the past. Although we are only just past the halfway mark of the season, Sunday's game with leaders Man City has become a must-win game for Jurgen Klopp's side if they're going to retain their crown." He says, "Not only is it important for Liverpool to narrow the gap and regain some of the momentum they lost in Wednesday's disappointing defeat by Brighton, a victory would also give other teams some confidence by showing that City are still beatable after racking up 9 straight league wins in a row." And I think, that's important because part of the reason that the title races were run so close in the past was because there was always that knowledge that like Liverpool would keep rumbling on and win every game, and City would win every game, and then it was about which games, the one or two head-to-head games where City became vulnerable, or City or Liverpool were vulnerable for the other one to take over. And again, that's in a season that's so congested. Knowing that, seeing any team put together a long winning run, starts putting questions and thoughts and worries in other people's heads as to whether that team starts to get an unassailable lead. And at the moment, 7 points clear. It could be 10 points if we lose. Would be unassailable. But if we beat City, it shows to the rest of the league, hey, you can still attack City. You can still take points of City. This league isn't over. It doesn't have to be over. It doesn't have to be as open and shut as it usually has been in the last few seasons. Danny Murphy continues. He says, "The way City are playing and the run that they are on, that is clearly going to be very tough. And I don't see many weaknesses with them in the moment, especially defensively where they have gone up a notch or two, maybe more. If Liverpool can win at Anfield, it gives them hope and a chance of retaining their title. If they don't, then it's going to be almost impossible for them to catch City. And I'm not sure anyone else can either." And I would certainly say that, that's agreeable. I think, yes, if City do win, it's over. And I think our priorities must shift to the Champions League and just claiming top four. And, you know, that doesn't necessarily have to be the world is ending. If we are put in a position where we have to focus on getting top four or going as far as we can in the Champions League, given the injuries, then I think we could still have a successful season. If we know that, if the fan base knows that at this point we just bin the league, start over again next season once we have our entire squad back fit, and when football goes back to normal, if we have that understanding, then just treading water for this season is shouldn't necessarily be seen as the biggest colossal failure imaginable. On that note, let's move on and look at some of um, Some of the match facts. So this is quoting from the BBC website. So in terms of the head-to-head fixture, Liverpool have gone 17 top-flight games unbeaten against Man City at Anfield. At Anfield, with 12 wins and 5 draws. Their solitary home defeat in the past 29 meetings coming in May 2003. City's 17-match winless streak at Liverpool is their longest in the Premier League away to any opponent, and they are also without a victory in all 14 of their last previous league matches at Anfield, when Liverpool have been the reigning champions, losing 10 times. The only away win in the past 24 league meetings between these sides was Liverpool's 4-1 victory at the Etihad Stadium in November 2015. In terms of Liverpool, Liverpool are in danger of losing 3 consecutive league games at Anfield, a sequence they last recorded in 1963. Gosh, for a team that likes to make history, this is something we definitely don't want to make history over. The Reds could also fail to score in 4 consecutive top-flight home matches for the first time in their history. Again, something we don't want to repeat. They are the only Premier League side without a home goal in 2021 and have gone 348 minutes, just under 6 hours, without scoring at Anfield. Jurgen Klopp's team have lost 4 of their 22 league fixtures this season, as many as the previous 2 campaigns combined. And the Merseysiders have had just 1 shot on target against Brighton, their lowest total in a home league game since April 2017. Meanwhile, City definitely have a, how do you say, much more positive view of things on their end. City, if City were to win, making themselves go 10 points clear, it would also mean a 14th consecutive win in all competitions, and that would equal the record by a top-flight English team set by Preston in 1892 and matched by Arsenal in 1987. They could also keep a club record 7th Premier League clean sheet in a row. Ederson has gone 768 minutes without conceding a league goal and has 13 clean sheets, more than he has more clean sheets than goals conceded in the top flight this season. He has only conceded 12 goals and has kept 13 clean sheets. Manchester City have conceded just once in 11 matches, league matches, and Ruben Diaz and John Stones have started together in 11 in the 11 league matches that Ruben Diaz and John Stones have played together, starting. They have won 10 of them and drawn only once. With that goal, a late consolation for Chelsea's Callum Hudson-Odoi in a 3-1 win at Stamford Bridge. But it's not all right and rain for them. Sterling is without a goal in all 6 of his appearances for City at Anfield, last scoring there in April 2015, whilst he was still a Liverpool player. I think it's important to state that it's not all doom and gloom for Liverpool. I think there's a number of really positive things that we can take into this game. The fact that we play really well against the bigger teams. You know, we are naturally more predisposed to being effective and inflicting damage on teams that are open and expansive, and they and who themselves thrive on high octane, high intensity, big game football matches. We've seen it in nearly every game that we've played against City. There's always been lots of goals. We've always had lots of chances on goal. Unfortunately, there's been a couple where we've conceded quite a lot, but I don't think that we will have the same problems that we had, say, against Brighton, because City don't play low block. They always just, they aim to play tiki-taka, and we know how to exploit that system. The other factor that we have to bear in mind is that, we have a number of really positive options by way of squad selection. So we were struggling so very much with having to basically bandage and put plasters over our defenders and then just put them out as soon as they're fit, and having to drop midfielders into defense. But now, for the first time in months, and unfortunately as a result of the Joel Matip injury, we have actually gone out and bought 2 defenders. And what that now means is that we can put we could start to see a back 5 of something like Alisson, Trent, Kabak at centre back, Fabinho alongside, because now Fabinho's fit for tonight, and then Robertson at left back. And that already is a much stronger defense than having Jordan Henderson there. Or we could have oh my god, why is my mind going blank? We we have a lot more options now. If we played both new signings at centre back, would be obviously a huge risk, but it wouldn't be any bigger of a risk than say playing Reece and Nat at the back, or one of Reece or Nat and Jordan Henderson. At least we have an option to put a defender there. We've obviously seen that Fabinho has now become basically a first choice centre back. So if we play him and Kabak, or him and this Davies, then already we can start to put people like Henderson into midfield, which gives us a bit more energy going forward and has sort of that Jordan Henderson's roaring voice behind the front three again. And that should boost the confidence of the front three, as well as being able to play against a team that leaves you lots of space, and it can often be very gung-ho at times. And don't forget, we've also got Allison back. He was missing in the last game. Kelleher, I thought, did a good job, pulled out some really key saves, but there's nothing like the same feeling of security having your number one goalkeeper and probably the world's best goalkeeper back in your between the sticks again. So positive sign there, positive sign in defense, positive sign in midfield, and positive signs up front. It appears that Jota was training finally, because we really missed him. You know, it's really good to have him as another attacking option coming into the side. Late in games, I think of that first West Ham game where he comes on, Shaqiri sets him up for the last minute goal. He really pulled us out of some tight situations, and gave us a different type of player attacking, making runs from deep into the penalty area late in the game, as well as being fresh legs. And Mane looks also set to be fit to start in that game. And as we've seen, Mane is always hardworking, consistent, and does score in big games against major teams, both in the Champions League and in the league, and has scored against City in the past. So, I'm aware I'm starting to run out of time, but I would like to just give quickly what my predictions are for the game. I actually think that Klopp will have these guys G'd up to the max. I think we are at home playing against bigger teams, and I think our confidence will just be naturally bigged up for the game. I think City are still beatable. I know at the moment it feels like they are untouchable and invulnerable, but you know, nothing is always that absolute, and I think we could still hurt them. I think Mo has now scored 20 goals or more for 4 seasons in a row, and that's the first person to do that since Ian Rush. So he is still having this phenomenal season. We're only just gone halfway through the season, and I think if he keeps scoring the way he has been, he might end up back at the 30 goal. I think very easily he could end up scoring 30 goals this season. And he scored some very big goals against City in the past, and I think we could see him do it again. I would love to see us win. I don't think we're out of the title race yet. I think this will go right down to the wire. But it has to, for that to happen, we have to win, and I think we might. I would always back Liverpool to win, but it will be very narrow. I think it will either be 1-0 or 2-1. And I will say that Mo will score. And Bobby will score. I think in terms of a lineup, we will see something like Allison in goal, Trent at right back, Robertson at left back, Fabinho in defence, and then I'm going to go out on the limb, and I think Kabak will start. It'll be great to see him get a first run out. I know he's also very good in the air, very good from corners, so that would help against putting pressure on Edison from corners and free kicks. And actually, I wouldn't be surprised if Kabak, if he started, scores from a header or has a number of chances on goal from headers from corners. And then in midfield, I would personally go with Henderson, Thiago, and Wijnaldum. And then up front, the usual front three. And if Jota is fit, I would bring Jota on at 60 minutes or 55 minutes. Get him started warming up at 55. Bring on at 60, and just give him a solid half an hour to try and affect the game in a different way. Try and make City think differently about how we will approach the game. I think being able to push people 10 yards up the field, putting Kabak in defence, Henderson in midfield, will just bring forward a sense of normality for our team, a sense of disharmony for City, because they would be expecting us to play in a different way. And I think we could get a result. And I think, yeah, I'm choosing to go into this with confidence, and I'm going to be doing a watch along for it as well. So you can all join me for that one. I will do a preview for that game as well. Just prior to kickoff, talking through the squad selection, the team news, and give you my thoughts going into the game. But for now, if you could all just leave your thoughts and feelings in the comment section, and let me know your thoughts about the lineup and the result, and I'll see you for the game against City on Sunday. Bye bye, everyone.